What are the challenges of playing a team twice in 1 week?
Well, I think it depends how the first game goes. Most teams are going to want to push back if it didn't go their way. So Calgary probably did not like the second half of that game up there, so that'll be on their minds. The good part about it is you've seen them, so it helps with a little bit of your pre-scout. You're familiar with them, so that's the flip side of that.
I think you said after the game against Boston, you thought that was Mitch Marner's best game so far with your group. What are the challenges for him of coming to a new team, adjusting, and moving forward?
What are the challenges? Chemistry. Where does he fit? First and foremost with line mates. I mean, think of the individual. Acclimating to, for example, we do video every day in here, right? We do this media. You always sit there, don't you, Gosh? You're usually there. What if Mitch Marner walked in here and sat right there where Mark Stone sat all the time? Yeah. Right? There's just right. So there's some simple things like this, like acclimating into a group that's been there and done it a certain way for a while. So you don't think of these little things, but there's small little things, and who likes to go on the ice last? All these little things that might be superstitious for players and whatnot that he has to get used to. So, you lose a bit of the narrow focus of, hey, I just got to play well, So there's things like that go on for players, especially when they've been one of the guys for so long in one place. So they're kind of now going to the back of the line a little bit, so to speak, to sort of get acclimated with this group. And then there's obviously on the ice stuff. How does the coach, is he short shifting? Like, does he like to do 20-second shifts when I like to be out there? You know what I mean? He's got to get used to how we want to do things. So there's a lot going on. And eventually the player just plays, and that's when they've kind of settled in. So when that moment will come for Mitch, might already be here. I don't know for him. He'd be able to answer that, but that's why you see guys that change places take a while, usually to get settled in. Sometimes at the deadline it happens quicker because your focus is all about the playoffs and you don't worry about any of that other stuff. But the start of the year, I think those are some of the challenges that he's going through right now. Not to mention your family, right? Now you've moved to a new city, your wife, your kids, whatever. So there's a lot going on.
There's any update on Hanifin, Howden, and Hill?
Hilly's starting tonight, so he's good to go. Howie is skating, but will not play tonight. Hanifin is not skating yet and will still be day-to-day, will not play tonight.
I've been asked to ask you this. What is your candy of choice on the bench?
Werther's, butterscotch. Sugar-free, hopefully, not always.
5 games into it, what are you most encouraged about for the team so far?
Well, we're scoring. Preseason we did. Now we have different lineups, so you don't going to measure it too much. But we've got to judge on something. We scored last year, so again, I'm not surprised by it, but I'm happy it's there now. Like to see a little more balance, maybe, but it's too early to say that. 5 guys get hot, especially goal scoring. Like Pav's hot right now, but someone else will get hot. Maybe Hertz will get on a run, or Carly had a couple the other day. Maybe that'll translate to his line. So. Hanny goes out. We lose Petro, Hager, so we've got some new D back there. I think they're holding their own, doing a nice job. Ben Hutton didn't play a lot last year. He's in the lineup every night helping us win. I see growth in Corsi. Whitey's now moved up to a top 4, so we're keeping an eye on that. I think they're doing a good job. Like our power play, not surprised again by that, but you never know if it'll operate the same it has. Encouraged about our PK, even though the percentage number isn't where we want it. I still think it's improving, and just we're getting there on that. And I think that'll be an area of focus that we'll see go in the right direction, like our power play did last year. I think our PK numbers will be better this year. I think we've got lots of guys in the room that can do it. I think they're taking pride in it. We just got to eliminate a mistake here or there, and I think the number will improve.
I guess the other side of that would be, what are you still hammering away on and working at each day to try to get better at?
Starts, puck management in the first period. I thought against Boston we were better. A little of the message was, listen, we got lots of guys in the room who can make plays. We want you to make plays. You don't have to make a play the first shift, second shift of the game if it's not there. Like, you can sort of play the game in front of you, manage the puck better. And I thought with Boston, we did a better job of that. Calgary, we did not. So are we there? Of course not. But that's an area we're getting focused on, and that's why our starts, we haven't scored first a lot of times, because we've been the team that probably made the first or second mistake a lot of nights. And so we got to minimize those by making better decisions. Now, maybe we make a good play tonight and score first because of that, but at the end of the day, that's probably our biggest area that we're emphasizing, other than, we could go through structure, face-offs, all that, but in the big picture, that's one we need to get better at.
Shea, just curious how you feel the team has built its game here over the first 5 and how you want to continue building here tonight.
Yeah, I think anytime you come out of the game with points is good, especially in the start. You want to get that game rolling, and I think we're still building. Obviously, there's improvements to be made, but having a start like we have over the first 5 games, if we continue to get better, then that's a good sign.
We knew on paper that it was going to be a deep forward group, but just curious what you've seen from those guys up front to this point.
Yeah, it's great. It seems like the guys are really meshing well. It seems like we're getting timely goals when it counts, but then, down the stretch when we need to, kind of lock it down a little bit, we have that too. So, it's definitely a luxury to have, and it's been nice so far.
What have things been like for you guys on the back end? You came in without Alex Pietrangelo, and then Noah got injured early in the season. Just you have a new face in Jeremy Lauzon. Just what's the adjustment been, and do you notice any differences maybe in the identity of that group?
Yeah, I think definitely a little different identity. Guys stepping into different roles, but I think through the first 5 we're getting a little bit more comfortable, and I think again like the forward group, if we can kind of continue to build like we have over the first 5, then we should be in a good spot in the middle stretch.
How would you sum up what that identity is and what you want it to be?
I think just a little bit more grit. I think obviously we have some puck movers back there, but at the same time with how deep our forward group is, we're going to have to do a good job defending as well, and I think everyone has to take care of that role.
What are the biggest strengths of Calgary? I know obviously when you play them so early in the season, earlier in the week, no one really has their identity down, but just curious what stands out to you about them.
Yeah, they're fast. They're up in your face. The D are always pinching, and it seems like they're up in the rush too. So, I think they're getting Huberdeau back tonight, which is good, and it'll be a little bit different team than we saw in Calgary, but I think the same compete, and we're gonna have to outwork them.
What makes that different when he's in the lineup?
Just his skill. He's been in the league a long time. He's a great passer, great player. So you have to adjust a little bit, but I think overall, just focus on our team game and we'll be fine.
Well, first, just curious what you take out of the game in Calgary earlier this week, since you're facing them twice in the same week.
Resiliency, right? Obviously don't want to go down like we did in that game, and we found a way to claw back. So we know that this game isn't going to be out of it in the first period, no matter what the score is. It's going to take all 60 minutes. So for us, it's no matter what happens, just play to the very end.
Even though you didn't get the first goal last game, Bruce Cassidy liked the start in the first period better than the previous games. What did you like better about the first period?
Yeah, I think we were just attacking more, right? Like we made a couple of mistakes defensively, but that's okay, because I think everyone was trying to do the right thing, and just they're a team that they try to win the net front battle there, and they did on those times. But for us, I think we didn't let it discourage us. We just went back and played harder at them, and we were able to get some more goals.
From a personal standpoint, where do you feel your game is here after the first 5?
Yeah, we're still trying to build, right? Like I think it's tough when you go through preseason playing with Howds and Sis, and then Howds goes down, so then we have Rhino come in, and there's still an adjustment period. I've been playing with the same guy my whole career here with Wazzy, so it's still an adjustment for me, trying to figure out style of play, where guys are going to be. But I think we're turning in the right direction, starting to get more offensive zone chances, starting to bring out the puck a little bit cleaner. And honestly, we're all desperate guys in our D zone, so if there is a breakdown, we're all ready to block a shot for whoever it may be.
What is the identity that you personally will always strive to bring to that line, no matter who else is on it?
Yeah, just a hard-working effort, physicality, right? Being hard in the puck. It's funny because I think we all play a very similar style of game, so I don't think there's much continuity there. I think we all are not carbon copies of each other, but we all mold each other in the same way of pulling the rope in the same direction.
What is, I know, again, you talk about you play a similar style, but just because you had played with the same centerman for so long or played with Howden for so long, what's different about consistency?
Well, it's just like it's hard to describe unless you really know. Like when you play with someone for so long, it's just like, it's like a part of you. So you just know where the other one's going to be at all times. You don't even have to communicate. So now let's get the communication going. And then once you start picking up similarities of where they're going to be on the ice, then you know, and you start building that over time.
How much, like, when is that communication happening mostly? Is it between shifts?
All the time, like on the ice, like I could hear, yep, like here, I'm here for you, below, above, beside you, on the bench, look at the iPads. In between periods, we talk about it. Practice days, talk about plays. So we're just constantly trying to, improve our chemistry.